sidelines of Buffalo. She's amassed 127 and 80 overall record. Eastern Michigan, meanwhile, will come out with Danielle Minot, Autumn Hudson, Corian Cardwell, Jenna Anacarico, and Courtney Lewis. Minot second on the team in scoring at 13 points a game. Leads the team in rebounding, though, with 6. Corian Cardwell, though, Greg, leading the team in scoring at 14 points. And as she goes, it seems the team goes.
Yeah, it finds a way to carry her and quickly down the floor the other way. They're going to get a block called. Initially looked like they might be given the offensive bump, but instead Eastern will get a chance for free throws early.
Free throws certainly have been a struggle for Eastern Michigan this season. They are ranking dead last in conference action as far as free throw percentage is concerned. Just right around 59%, and really they've dropped 4 or 5 games that maybe free throws could have decided a victory or defeat.
Eastern, a team that on the year, you look at in their game at Kent State, just 42%, 8 of 19, but struggled at portions throughout this entire year to get free throws to go down, as you said.
They will split the pair, so Eastern Michigan will take a 1-0 advantage here. 9:28 to play here in the first quarter. Again, Cardwell coming off a 15-point, 3-rebound, 3-assist performance as she splits those pair. And quickly the other way, Buffalo put up a shot offline. That was Sierra Dillard, who wants to get into the scoring column early. She is first in the MAC in scoring. She averages 24 points a game. And again, now a foul the other way, this time on Autumn Hudson.
Well, after we thought the last time they were going to get the offensive charge, this time it's Hudson going low, dipping that shoulder and giving it right back. And that's what Eastern wants to do. They want to be aggressive offensively. They know at times they've struggled and gone through some of these scoring swoons, especially against a team with Buffalo that can put up 74 points a game. They'll give up 67 points a game. You have to be able to find ways to keep them honest early as we see a little perspiration on the floor.
And there you see Felicia Legitchak, 7th year with now the Bulls. And again, I talked about it, Greg, that impressive record, 127 and 80 overall, and she has done a lot with the Bulls in her tenure. And on the flip side, you look at head coach Fred Castro with Eastern Michigan now in his 3rd season, trying to get Eastern Michigan back to the promised land where, you know, they feel they rightly deserve to be. Top recruiting class coming in, another top recruiting class. Anacarico tried to draw a charge and no call, but that will lead to Buffalo's first field goal of the game.
Yeah, just go right back inside. It was some garbage work underneath, but just points in the paint. Buffalo gets their first done in the scorebook.
Here's Jenna Anacarico, screen set up by Hudson. Gets it over to Lewis, left wing, and she'll hit. Courtney Lewis fills it up. Eastern Michigan a 4-2 advantage.
Lewis, who was dramatically under the weather the other day. That's why she didn't get the start. Also, didn't play nearly as the minutes she would, coming back a little bit for being under the weather, and you need her offense to get going.
Lewis 3rd on the team in scoring, 3rd player to average double figures, and she'll travel. Puts up 11 points a game, averages right around 26 a contest, and had just 3 in that road loss to Kent State where they fell 71-64.
Fred Castro for Eastern Michigan in his 3rd year is really continuing to rebuild this program. Continues to climb. Last year better than his first year, but still high aspirations for him.
7 wins in non-conference action, also a high mark for him.
Well, you look what they've been able to do defensively, Ryan. Eastern has 5 times held teams to 50 or less this year already, and we're just at the start of MAC play. Tonight, though, could be a different story as you see the 3-ball go back in the other way from Hannah Hall.
The last team they held was Northwood here at the Convocation Center. That was right before the new year. They picked up a 53-39 advantage for the victory. Here's Sierra Dillard. Dish pass over to Hall, who just made that 3, as you said. Now Dillard will pop a 3 from the same spot. Rebound will trickle out to the left side. 5-4 early on Buffalo.
Buffalo will grab offensive boards. 181 of the offensive caroms on the year. They're almost 35 better than the opposition in that category. And they get to flip it back over with the foul.
2nd turnover here of the night.
And this will be a team that wants to play their primary players a lot. They have a bench, certainly a much deeper bench than what Eastern Michigan has, just in terms of pure numbers. They don't go to it a ton. Looking at the Ohio numbers, very little.
7 players played in their last game against Ohio. Again, that was a 3-point defeat.
Good chance to reset the offense again.
As Hudson underneath gets some contact. And that was up against Addie Adiyeye. Adiyeye out of Brampton, Ontario. That is her second personal here early on. 6:52 to play. So Hudson will head to the free throw line. Eastern Michigan already 1 of 1 in this game. Hudson on a Richwood, Ohio, has a season high of 6 points this year. Career high is 7. Fun fact about her, she's the tallest player since Colleen Russell to be on Eastern Michigan's squad. Eastern struggles again from the free throw line, now 2 of 4.
But the more you get opportunities to go at the rack, that's a good sign for Eastern Michigan. If they can have opportunities with the clock stopped to score, it means Buffalo is reaching a little bit more than some of the other Eastern Michigan opponents.
Buffalo has made their first substitutions. Wilkins has checked in, and she was the one that dished down there on the baseline, but the shot was off mark, and Daniel Minot will grab the rebound.
Good clean out down low by Minot.
Fred Castro now directing traffic. Anna Carrico will bring it up. Anna Carrico 11th in the Mid-American Conference this year in assists, averages right around 4 a game. Here's Minot from the left corner for 3. Too strong.
Buffalo scoreless the last 90 seconds, trying to end that little skid on this trip up the floor. Usually a team very good fundamentally under Coach Jack.
Good defense here by the Eagles, but now splitting into the lane and falling away was Teresa Onwuka. She'll get Autumn Hudson for the foul.
Took some high Euro steps trying to go at that rack on the far side.
So Onwuka will head to the line. She is out of Nigeria. She has played and started in all 12 games so far this year. 3rd on the team in scoring at 11 points a contest. About a 72% free throw shooter. And she'll make her first.
Pretty good stat line against the Bobcats the other day. 10 points, 7 boards, 3 assists, 3 steals, and a block for the athletic wing.
It's a good day at the office.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I know it's not what you want to do, lose on your home floor, but against the Ohio team that has come, we knew they were going to be good, but I don't know that people knew they were going to be 12-0 to start the year good.
Yeah, when you looked at those standings there in the pregame and you see Ohio on the top of the East, as you alluded to, the Bobcats, you expected them to be really good this season, but 12-0 is a different level. There's Pineda, who's coming off a career game, 16 points. She'll miss her 3. She can't underscore what she was able to provide, the freshman out of Miami.
Walters was calling it for down low, but instead Dillard was the one with the shot.
Ira Johnson went up for the rebound. Eastern now trying to push it into the lane, drawing some contact, and we'll have a whistle. It was Corian Cardwell again, finding a way into the paint.
I like what Corion's doing. Came a little curl from that baseline, went in. It goes against Hall. Gets her to come up with her first. But Eastern now has gotten the point. The Bulls, with 4 fouls, will be let Eastern shoot free throws the rest of this first period.
Eastern's last couple points have come off of free throws. Hudson splitting a pair. Now Cardwell with a free throw. And before that, it was the 3-point by Courtney Lewis.
Yeah, you have to go back to 8:42 mark since Eastern scored with the clock running. But going back to the free throw line, Cardwell continues to do her thing there. 3 of 3.
Second tie of the game, 7-all here, 5:10 to play first quarter. Eastern Michigan and Buffalo both looking for their first conference victory of the year. Hall here on the right wing, approaching 10 to shoot. Drops it off underneath, cutting to the basket, partially blocked, but somehow gets it to go.
Did a good job dragging everybody to the top of the key. You rolled down low underneath for the pick to allow Walters to drive right to the hoop.
Buffalo back up by 2. Here's Anna Carrico, feeds it over to Pineda, now over to Cardwell. She picked up her dribble and she'll hit a jumper.
Give her 6 in the early stages. I think she's been red hot so far. The Eagle we thought would get a few touches based on last year, and Minot 0 for 2.
Minot 44 points in that game last year. Career high for her. There's Pineda, splitting between two defenders, gets into the lane, draws some contact, and that will take us to immediate timeout. 4:17 to play here first quarter between Eastern Michigan and Buffalo. 9-all here at the Convocation Center.
Since 1971, the Michigan Lottery has contributed to $21 billion.
Chiming in with 15 and 14 respectively. Again, Craig, we talked about it in the pregame. It's hard to dig out of an 0-2 hole. It's a big game for both of these teams. Here's Cardwell. Spins it over to Pineda. Finding her way into the lane, draws some contact. They're going to get an offensive foul. They're going to say it was a charge. She didn't like the call, but the Buffalo bench jumps up. 9-all between Eastern Michigan and Buffalo here with 4:05 to play in the first quarter. Buffalo coming in 8-4 on the season. Eastern Michigan, that's 7-5. There's Hall. Drops it off top side to Wilkins. Falling away and somehow corralling it was Dillard. Anna Carrico working against her, and Dillard takes her all the way to the rack. They're going to say travel, wave the shot off.
Kind of riding her the entire route down. You just look right down the way, and she's lucky didn't get a foul, but a good situation that Eastern will take. Do not want Anna Carrico in foul trouble, but for Dillard, she also knows, being a senior, one of the top scorers, a lot of times she'll get that call.
Third turnover of the night here for Buffalo. 3:35 to play in the first quarter. 3 offline, top of the key. Kira Johnson, though, able to grab a second chance rebound, and Hannah Hall will come away with that one. Hall, a sophomore guard from Hamilton, Ontario, had 12 points and 2 rebounds, and the team's lost to the Bobcats. Already with 3 points in this one for the only 3 of the game here for Buffalo. Ball movement here and put it up and in.
Well, on that one, you look inside. They go back to the top of the key. That allows Dillard to curl in, but it also means 4 Eagles collapse on her, which meant the easy dish off to Walters for her second score.
That one's knocked away. Eastern Michigan now coughs it up. 5th turnover for them. Now trying to pass up. That's Ocean Konku. And we'll go out of bounds. Last touch here by EMU.
Long arms being able to allow them to duck that in for Minot to just get enough of the deflection away.
A couple substitutions here. Lewis will take a seat for Eastern Michigan. Cardwell will check back in. Hudson also back. We'll have a jump ball call, and that will favor Eastern Michigan.
Tie up gives the turnover back the other way, and that's already the 5th time we've seen each side flip it over. Dillard now with 2 turnovers of her own.
Right now Cardwell leading the way for Eastern Michigan. She has 5. Hall has 3 for Buffalo. Minot trying to get in the scoring column. She does.
This game, baseline up, raised, finally gets her going. That's what you need. Daniela repetition. She's a streaky player who certainly feeds off emotion.
Hall popped a 3, had a good look, but left it short. The rebound comes out to Buffalo. So 10 to shoot, though, as it didn't hit the rim, and driving in this time was Dillard. She'll draw some contact. And Carrico will grab the foul. That will be her first. And now Dillard will head to the line. Dillard, an 81% free throw shooter on the season. I mentioned she's #1 in the MAC in scoring. She's also 21st in rebounding, 15th in three-point field goal percentage, and 3rd in assists. Has 61 on the year, averaging right around 3 a game.
First UB player in school history to ever earn themselves on the Wade Trophy watch list. She's also on the Naismith watch list as well. For her credits, we've seen some really good pure scorers over the years. I mean, you think Talvin James, Shea Sweeney, but Dillard, little bigger build than either 2 of those players that Eastern really saw do most of their damage at that guard position.
And Dillard 5'9". Shea certainly 5'4", 5'5".
Yeah, maybe. Talvin probably 5'7".
one's off the hands of Anna Carrico. So we'll stay with Buffalo with 1:43 to go.
One difference you can see from Buffalo from a year ago. Cassie Ausler was a true force down inside for her. Same kind of build as Hemphill, only taller as you get the offensive foul and give it back.
A lot of body contact going on both ways here.
But to continue the point on Ausler, last year against Eastern, 9 of 9 at the stripe, 25 points, 13 boards for the transfer that really from her debut as a sophomore after becoming eligible to break until her final game. She was quite the player to watch for UB.
Beautiful pass there by Anna Carrico to cut her to the bucket, but got cut off, and Eastern will cough it up. Now Dillard, no-look pass, and that will go out of bounds. Getting a little sloppy here at the end of the first quarter. 6 turnover now here for UB.
Besides kind of giving it right back each way, up and down the floor. Rhythm's not what they should be. Eastern shooting 27%, UB 33%. I think you expected a few more points to be on the board, quite honestly, at this one, if you looked at it, Ryan.
It's a very even game right now. Eastern 4 of 6 from the line, Buffalo 4 of 4. We've had 4 ties. Largest lead's been just 2 points.
What a controlled play. Cardwell just drives in, has to lay it off the window, and then you get the tie-up that goes back on the alternating possession the other way.
Eastern now 1 of 7 for the last 7.
Haven't seen a field goal either way since the 2:26 mark.
Here's Hemphill. She works her way in on Pineda. Pineda will grab a foul. So Hemphill will head to the line. The junior forward from Buffalo, 72% free throw shooter. And Greg, we talked about her in the open, second on the team in scoring, but she is a walking double-double. 15 and 10 she averages, had 14 and 10 in their loss to Ohio.
Well, I think the one thing you like about her, she's fast, can move in the open court, and can dribble to the basket. But she can also start to give you some outside game that she's improving on. A 60% shooter from the floor. Anytime you get that number, above 50 on the shooting percentage, you like your odds. Now the last shot of her at the free throw line, looks like a little gauze in her nose may have got bumped early on.
Missed both. First one was well short. That one just touches the front of the rim.
Usually a 72% shooter.
Let's see if Eastern Michigan can respond here on the other side. Scoreless over the last 2 minutes. Minot will take a pass on Wuko, will have a reach in. That will be her first. Eastern Michigan will be shooting some free throws as they're already at 5.
About to shoot their 7th free throw of the game. They had 19 on Saturday at the Mack Center in Kent, Ohio. They fell, tried to rally back deep late, tied it up after half. Didn't have enough down the stretch. Just firepower, Kent State, and just foul trouble got the better of EMU.
You know, Greg, and we always talk about things on a broadcast that, you know, teams struggle with, and free throw percentage is something we've talked about over the last couple, but I mean, is it a mental thing at this point when, I mean, you just look at Minot now, she misses another 2, and Eastern now 4 of 8 to start this game.
Well, I think it's twofold. One is mental to some degree as you start thinking about it, but 2, it's also your legs. I mean, you're looking at it, you know, Eastern has played a lot of minutes from the same players early on. Everybody has seen at least 5 minutes or more. It starts to becoming, okay, maybe I don't have 100% to give every moment, and that shows up in points.
7 seconds here to shoot for the Eagles. Cardwell drives in as it's stripped away. Opportunity here for Buffalo to score right at the buzzer. Onwuka will take it all the way up and in and give their Bulls the largest lead of the game so far. It is a 4-point advantage here at the Convocation Center as first quarter action comes to an end.
3 of 12, the Bulls just a slight touch better. 5 of 13, 38%. Both sides have had their woes from outside. 1 of 4 as the struggles continue.
Onwuka and Dillard leading the way right now for Buffalo at 4 points apiece. Cardwell leading the way for Eastern Michigan. She has 5. The Eagles will start this second quarter with a miss. As Dillard weeds her way in. Drops it off, and then Lewis grabbed the rebound off the glass.
The board for Courtney, able to come up, rise up, hit that three early, but just her first board. It's Eastern -2 on the glass.
Here's Anna Carrico, gets around the defender and finger rolls it up at the glass. Eastern now makes it a 15-13 game.
9:15 to play on a running clock. You look, Eagles finally end that skid. More importantly, it's a good feed inside to help yourself create some outside spacing, but Dillard once again triples from downtown.
Comes right back down and buries that one, gives Buffalo now their largest lead of 5. Dillard, a 40% three-point shooter. There's Cardwell. Feeds it over to the left side, Anna Carrico into Autumn Hudson. Backs down her man and puts it up off the window.
Shot by Autumn to exploit inside. Spin, turn around, look up, and score for Eastern. Just their second point inside tonight.
Watch out, Dillard's starting to feel it.
You don't want that glare in her eye where she just wants the ball. Get her to start forcing it to her teammates. Quick shot right there, backside board.
There's Morrison who put it up, no good. Eastern Michigan quickly pushing the other way. No look pass over here to the right side. That 3 offline by Daniel Minot. Eastern Michigan now 1 for 6 from the long line.
Eagles looking to come check in Johnson and Pineda at the next whistle.
Find a way to go back to work defensively here, trailing by 3. Here's Dixon. Back to Dillard, right side, 7 to shoot. She'll put up a 3 from the right wing, and too strong. Anna Carrico goes up for the rebound. We'll have a whistle underneath.
The call underneath on Morrison. Her first, flips it over. If you look inside, Eastern was positioned for the board, just got displaced.
Pineda will drop it off to Cardwell, and she will bring it up.
Buffalo, 1 for their last 5 from outside. It's a team that will put it up better than 30% downtown. 203 three-pointers on the year they entered with.
They made 10 in their loss to Ohio. Cardwell now will head to the line for Eastern Michigan, where free throw struggles we talked about in the first quarter. We've seen throughout the year, but they're 4 of 8 in the first quarter. They'll make their first here in the second.
Look at Corian. She's, as you mentioned, 4 of 5 already. Season high in free throw attempts is 8. That came against Butler down in Florida. So well on her way to surpassing that. And we're still 7 minutes plus to go in the first half.
And by making those 2, she pulls Eastern now within 1, 18-17. Eastern's largest lead has been 2 in this game, but that was back when it was 4-2. And nice little cut to the basket for Buffalo.
We saw at the top Dillard get taken out in a collision. That allowed the play to go down inside, away from the ball.
It's Vanessa Dixon who puts it up and in. No look pass here to Minot, drives into the lane, gets a lot of contact. And they're going to get a charge here on Eastern, as that one was well in front of Minot, nothing she can do.
No, they're just gonna, it's gonna go out of bounds. No foul. Luckily for Eastern. Just trickled off the fingertips.
So hard to whistle. I saw her take a spill.
Yeah, it was a feed that was too far out in front from Cardwell. They'll credit her with the turnover.
There's Dillard, nice pass to the cutter, to the bucket, they'll score.
High in the air, let's gravity do its best to drop through.
There's Morrison who puts it up and in.
Biggest lead of the contest that we've seen for UB have right now at 5.
Will go off the hands of Eastern. I'm going to say off Kira Johnson. And now Fred Castro talking to the officials saying it was tipped. Either way, Buffalo is lining up to inbound the basketball. be no review. It will stay with the Bulls. 22-17, over 6 minutes to play here in the first half.
Got its back-to-back turnovers on Cardwell.
And that one went off the foot of Dixon. She even called it. If the officials had questions, she started patting her chest saying, my bad.
Well, that would have been a little of the old makeup call the other way. Eastern will take it.
8th turnover for Buffalo. That matches Eastern Michigan here in the first half. 22-17. The Bulls on top. Minot pulls up to the left elbow and hits.
Nice rebound after the turnover. You get it right back. Second time tonight, Eastern has been able to capitalize on a Bulls mistake to score.
Feed inside to Morrison. She's working against Kara Johnson. Same spot Minot hit from the other side, but leaves that one well short. Air ball that goes out of bounds. Another turnover.
Looked like she was going to drive. Then she saw the space open up, backed up a touch behind that free throw line, extended, and just drew nothing but air.
As a team, the Bulls 8 of 20 from the floor for 40%. Eastern Michigan 6 of 17 for 35. Eastern with just one three-pointer in this game. Would love another one to tie this one up. Here's Pineda, had it knocked away from her, but just corralled on the floor. We're gonna get a jump ball call.
Tried, Pineda did lay out, grab it back. But just couldn't get there in time before the tie-up. 4th Bulls steal. And they have been very good at being able to get steals this year, as UB. Forcing an average of 21 turnovers a game. Bulls are second in the MAC in that category, and they average 11 steals a contest as well, Ryan.
Gritty defensive team, and Hall will come back and score on the offensive side. 24-19 in favor of Buffalo, under 5 to play here in the second quarter. Eastern 3 of 4 in their last 4 down the floor. Struggling to hang on to the basketball as that one goes off. Anna Carrico will trickle out of bounds. It will take us to immediate timeout. 4:44 to play here, second quarter. Buffalo
of Ohio, 39-20 in Athens. What a shock that one is. Meanwhile, you got a team like Miami. They're leading Toledo. Of course, NIU and Kent State locked up tonight. Eastern's next opponent, Western Michigan. Now they're on the trailing side at Akron.
Yeah, they trail by 5, 27-22. That one late in the second quarter as well. And same here at the Convocation Center. Eastern down by 5. Largest lead the Buffalo has had in this game. Now 3rd time they've had it. Minot tries driving baseline and steps on the end line.
Kind of knowing your position as you're riding that line, you have to have that mental note in your head just to be watching those toes. Danielle can't, turns it over. Eastern Michigan's 11th.
Eastern scoreless in nearly 2 minutes. The last bucket was from Minot. Pull Eastern within 3. Speaking of 3, Buffalo puts up another one, but that one doesn't go, and now Courtney Lewis will grab the rebound. Bulls 2 of 7 now from downtown.
They made one in their last 5 tries.
Lewis weaves her way in, pulls up the shot. Too strong, and the rebound out of Dillard.
Well, Johnson couldn't move back for the board. She was walled out, and that's what created Buffalo with a quick run out the other way.
That one will trickle out of bounds. It will stay with the Bulls. Last touched here by Eastern Michigan. So 24 on the shot clock as Dillard will step out to trigger. And it's intercepted here by Eastern Michigan. We'll have a jump ball, and the Eagles will take over. Good defense there by Lewis.
Some miscommunication on the inbound pass. Broke one way, but threw it right into waiting arms of Courtney Lewis. Already her 3rd steal.
Eastern's had one lead in this game. It was 4-2. But all Buffalo senses, Cardwell finds her way to the rack.
Leads all scorers down with 9. Most of her damage still been stripe, aggressive to the hoop.
Cardwell scored in double figures 9 times this year. Just 1 point away already in this one with 3:12 to play in the second quarter.
Greased up the ball, just the way it came out of her hands. Nearly lost it. Now they have to reset with the shot clock winding down.
Down to 6 here. It's Hall. Feeds it over right side. Dixon for 3. Too strong. And a rebound underneath and a putback. Huge rebound by Wilkins.
Well, Johnson was backing out, trying to drive her player out. That allowed the backdoor seal in the easy layup.
Puts the lead right back to 5. Now Lewis drives in, pulls up near the right elbow this time. Too strong, and Kira Johnson goes up for the rebound, but will draw some contact instead. We're going to get Finesse Dixon for a reach-in. That will be her second, team third. Johnson now will take a seat. 2:37 to play here, second quarter. Hudson will check back in for Kira Johnson. Hudson sets a screen for Minot. Thought about the three, banks it off the top left side of the backboard. I don't know that you can call that another way, let alone do it twice in a row, but it doesn't matter. She made it.
Just rolled down the top, good ability, and more importantly, to work in the window she was in, had really no place to land.
It was just a slight hesitation, and then she got the bank shot, and then look at this. Buffalo comes right back and answers. Hannah Hall again puts up a three, 29-24.
All waste no time. Just gritty, in her face, knows it has to have an answer for her team, and Hamilton Ontario product delivers.
Hannah's made 2 of the 3 3-pointers. Now Hudson takes a feed underneath. She goes right to the rack and draws some contact. Hudson should have a pair of free throws coming up. Dillard will grab the foul. That is her second, team 4th. Hudson will have 2.
Autumn's been to the stripe already in this game, making 1 of 2. 3 of 13. She entered the contest shooting. But went a lengthy period of time, right? She didn't make a free throw between the game against UIC in late November until Saturday against Kent State.
That's streak time. And she misses both here on this trip, but Danielle Minot was able to save the rebound. Now Minot is weaving in, kicks it out, right side. Pineda for 3, she'll bury it! Natalia Pineda hits it from the right corner. Eastern now within 2.
More importantly, it allowed Eastern to get its defense back up the floor quickly.
It's back-to-back threes for the Eagles. Pineda will take a spill to the floor. We're going to get Corianne Cardwell for a foul. That will be her second. Team first with 1:27 to play here in the second quarter. As aggressive as Eastern Michigan has been in this frame, it's hard to believe it's just their first foul. It's knocked away. And Carrico read that one perfectly.
See that one kind of coming. You could read her eyes like a defensive back. You could see the ball. It wanted to force one way.
Danielle Minot takes it all the way up and in. That ties the game at 29 after trailing by 5.
Danielle now 9 to lead to tie up Cardwell for that category.
An 8-3 run here for Eastern Michigan. Trying to answer on the other side with the Bulls. 3 no good, but the rebound comes right back out. It's Hamilton. Here's Hall. Driving in, picks up her dribble, drops it off now to Awuka. She goes up against Autumn Hudson. She had position, gets the shot to go and the foul.
Just one of those high off the window, throws it, and gets it to fall down. Luka now 6 points. They get a chance to add more. Coming up at our halftime intermission report, we'll have a season preview of the AMU gymnastics team, their second year under head coach Katie Minnesota. We'll also break down the first half and also hear from David Pierce Anderson in his conversation with head coach Fred Castro.
Awuka completes the 3-point play, makes it 32-29. Under a minute to play here in the first half. Minot driving in, they're going to charge. Third now here on Eastern Michigan. Second on Minot.
Yeah, you talked just for a second on the fouls weren't coming. You get 2 in a less than 7-second window.
That will leave about a 3.1 differential between game clock and shot clock. So Hall will bring it up. She leads the way right now in the first half for Buffalo with 8 points. 3 of 5 from the floor, 2 of 4 from downtown. Morrison went in. Awuka grabs the rebound. Now going up is Autumn Hudson. She loses it. Anna Carrico comes away with it. 10 seconds for Eastern. They feed it up, nearly turn it over, and they do. They tried forcing the action as the clock was winding down. They will turn it over. That is now the 12th turnover for Eastern Michigan.
Had a head of steam, just got too fast out in front of it.
Eagles average about 17 a game, and already 12 in the first half. Here's Hall. Picks up her dribble, right side. Hamilton, 1 second to get it up. Looked like it still was in her hand, but doesn't matter. Shot is no good. Buffalo will take the 3-point advantage to the locker room, 32-29. Back and forth game between Eastern Michigan and Buffalo. Let's head over now to David Pierce-Anderson, who's standing by with head coach Fred Castro. David?
Coach was game containing one side or the other. Neither of us quite anticipated the turnovers that we'd get. We know that both sides are adept at that. The team that's going to win this second half has got to do a better job controlling that basketball. And also, you're going to have to start winning at the free throw line. And automatically, 10 seconds in, we get our first foul call.
You know, it's funny you say that too, Greg, because we heard Fred Castro tell David Pierce-Anderson right before the break. One, he was going to talk to his team about taking care of the basketball. They had the 12 miscues during the first half, and then matching physical play. And we highlighted it there at halftime. Points in the paint have been big for Buffalo, doubling up Eastern Michigan 16-8.
Well, and then you immediately see Dillard go inside on the assist.
Eastern trying to match with a 3 on the other side, hits the right side of the rim, off the back of the backboard, and then out of bounds. So bad luck there for the Eagles on their first shot.
You got to have, especially out of dead ball inbounding situations, a little more to watch what UB is able to do. Over the years, Coach Jack has done a good job on that out of bounds play, especially on the own bucket.
Here's Dillard. Drops it off now to Morrison, 10 to shoot. Ball trying to feed it down low, back to Dillard on Anna Carrico. Another jump shot, nearly from the same shot she made the last one, and she'll hit. Now largest lead of the game for the Bulls.
7-0 run, you look at it right now, Ryan, you gotta come back. Quick answer.
Don't force it, don't try to feed it on the outside and force the 3, which hasn't been there pretty much all game. They're 3 of 9 are the Eagles. Minot, though, pulls up in the lane. And the rebound right into the hands underneath Adieye.
And then Hudson tries to swat it away, stolen, and then Eastern luckily gets the beneficiary of the quick turnover.
There's Lewis. She feeds inside to Hudson. Dribble, bounces into 2 players, and will draw some contact. Looked like she really hurt Adieye. She clutches the left side of her chest.
Third foul already on Adieye. Eastern now to trigger underneath. If you have the matchup, go right back at her.
And quickly they do. That time it's Minot.
Just go up, use Danielle's athletic ability to jump high, rise up, and teardrop it in.
Minot now into double figures. That's the 7th time now she has reached the double figure mark this season. Hudson, good position here underneath, forces Dillard, or excuse me, forces Adieye around, and that one will go out of bounds.
Off the shin, just trickles back out of bounds.
14th turnover now here for Buffalo, 2nd here of the second half. Adieye now will take a seat. Wilkins will check in.
Dillard almost came up from behind Cardwell.
Carrico, pass over to Cardwell, left corner. Drives in around Autumn Hudson. Now Minot open from the right corner for 3. She'll hit it. That one looked like it was redirected again from the backboard. Somehow gets it to go. 5-0 spurt for her. Eastern within 2. Now Dillard goes in on Anna Carrico, backs her all the way down, gets the bucket and the foul. Now the 3rd foul on Anna Carrico.
Hot start of the second half, 4 of 5 for Dillard. So the 2 stars shining bright after the halftime break. You see Minot and Dillard much better. Second half, a chance to add 1. Seen a lead as big as 7 for UB. A couple different times. Eastern no more than that 4-2 edge early on.
So back to 5, 39-34. Dillard now with 14 points. She matches Danielle Minot for leading score on both sides. Lewis pulls up to the left elbow and hits. Been a good game between these two teams. Eastern averaging around 59 points a game. Buffalo averaging around 74. Dillard, step back deuce. She is on fire.
Well, you got the matchup a little bit on Courtney. May, again, still feeling a little bit unlike herself under the weather and maybe a step back because of it.
Autumn Hudson underneath. Puts it up and in and draws the contact. Count the bucket. Now the and one coming for her. It's been Eastern Michigan versus Sierra Dillard this half. Dillard scoring all 9 points here for Buffalo. Hudson will be shooting 1. Eastern is a team 6 of 12 from the free throw line so far in this game. Hudson 1 of 4. Rattles around, halfway down, nearly popped out, but falls through.
Gets her a much needed minute on the bench is Kira Johnson. KJ, of course, product from Buffalo, playing against her hometown team.
It's always got to be a good feeling.
It's a Cardinal O'Hara, Tonawanda, New York.
Watch out for Dillard. She's feeling it. Pulled up right at the top of the key. A hand in her face from Corianne Cardwell, and she still hit 12 straight points to start the second half for Sierra Dillard.
1 point away from that 20-point category she's been so good at getting into.
In 15 of the last 16 games, she's put up at least 20. 11 straight, she's had 24 or more.
Gotta guess that there was a bit of a challenge laid out in that halftime speech, needing your senior to step up.
She has answered the bell. Ray Johnson takes the inbound pass, puts it up off the window and in. Eastern keeping it close, back within 3.
Well, that's what you want to see out of KJ. She just gets the ball down low, shows that ability as a freshman to have good touch. Just still learning that game. When she gets right, she's going to be there, and Eagles get the turnover back the other way.
That is a huge defensive break for Eastern Michigan because Sierra Dillard right now is playing out of her gourd.
But that's the one knock that you can find on her. She will force and cough the ball up. Now, that's her 6th of the 15 that UB has had.
Almost kind of a fair trade-off, though. I mean, with the 19, only player double figures right now for Buffalo. There's Minot trying to answer on the other side. Too strong. Loose. KJ going for it. Dillard pulls it down, though. It's just the second rebound for Dillard. She spins at the top of the key, and they're going to get Corianne Cardwell for a reach-in. That will be her third, team third. 5:49 to play here, third quarter. Eastern Michigan trailing by 3. Hall drives in, kicks it back out.
Got away with a step, too.
Feed it into Dillard. She's taken every shot here in the second half, and why not? 14 straight points, and that will prompt a timeout from head coach Fred Castro. He sees Buffalo get that 5-point lead again, as Sierra Dillard had just 7 points. Now already, Greg, with 21.
Yeah, but I think the difference is second half. Both teams have come out a much different offense. Bulls have not missed on their 6 tries. Eastern Michigan the other way. They're 5 of 8 after they couldn't buy a bucket in that early first quarter either.
But Dillard has scored all the points here in the third quarter, 14 straight. And she'll take it now from the left wing. She is feeling it. First miss for Dillard. It was a good look at a 3, though.
It was. Just kind of walked away and then steals it right back.
Gets it on the defensive side, goes right around Cardwell, falling to the floor and still scoring. Now make it 16 in a row.
Well, if you go back and look at that last basket, the most impressive thing, Dillard able to hold the ball out, nose contact coming, and still lay it up with her offhand.
And then fall to the floor. That will give a 7-point advantage now for Buffalo. That is their largest lead of this game. Pretty much played in a 2 to a 5-point window the entire contest until now. 48-41. Dillard now with 23. the 16th of the last 17 games. She's scored at least 20 or more, and she's 1 point away from making it 12 straight at 24 or more.
So you just look up and down the NCAA ranks. She's the only Buffalo player to rank nationally in any statistical category.
There's Hudson working around her man, gets it to go. 43 points for Eastern Michigan, now back down by 5. Minot all over Dillard. They're going to bump here on Minot down on the baseline. So let's go back and take a look at this last bucket, though, Greg, for Eastern Michigan. Autumn Hudson able to back down her man, pull Eastern Michigan back within 5.
Yeah, look at it, toss inside, backs her down, just up her national numbers. We said it before the break. She is the only UB player in any national statistical category, and she's carrying her team right now in this second half. But Eastern Michigan finding ways to keep right there as Autumn Hudson sneakily in double figures.
She now makes it a 3-point game, 48-45 in favor of UB. The Eagles' largest lead in this game has been 2. Largest lead for Buffalo has been 7. Autumn Hudson now in this contest with double figures. She has 10, and that is a season and career high for her.
You look at it, 10 points, but the big thing, finding her inside, allowing the ability to get points in the lane, as Eastern was getting outscored, doubling up in that category. They're now within 2, 22-20.
Fred Castro talked with David Pierce-Anderson about it. Need to be more physical and find a way to protect the basketball, and they've done that. They turned the ball over 12 times in the first half, just 2 so far, 6 minutes into the second half. But they've got to find a way to slow down Sierra Dillard, who now has 18 straight points.
But also the question becomes, at what point, with Dillard continuing to go off, do you give her a moment or two out of the game, or do you just keep playing?
Well, you talked about it early in the first quarter about Eastern Michigan not getting any rest and maybe not playing at their full potential. As Hudson with a turnaround hook shot keeps it a 3-point game. And that's maybe why Eastern had struggled from the free throw line. So far, it's been all Dillard against EMU here in the third quarter. Dillard now with 25 points. 12 straight games, she's had at least 20 or more. 16 of 17 this year, now 10 to shoot. Second miss of the frame. Autumn Hudson goes up for the rebound. Hudson now with 3 boards to go along with her 12 points. Here's Anna Carrico. She'll pull up inside the 3-point arc, and that makes it a 1-point advantage.
Well, you change it up after Hudson had been doing so well down low. You open up the outside. They're expecting the dump over the top.
Eastern going back to work defensively, looking for their first lead since early in this game. They can get a stop and go back to work on the offensive side. Hall now with 10 to shoot, turns it over. Now Anna Carrico on the floor, flips it back to Pineda, and we'll have a whistle. Well, timeout across the way, Fred Castro. Good awareness by him.
Yeah, he could tell that his team was in trouble. Let's former Buffalo Wild Wings location.
Yeah, garlic parmesan sweet potatoes is what I heard. It sounded pretty good to me.
It's not good for the New Year's diet.
No, it is not, but certainly good if you want to fill up your belly, as Autumn Hudson tries to fill up the rim and leaves that one short. Eastern now down by 1. They're going to get a foul. Anna Carrico put her hands on her head. That will be on Anna Carrico, and that's going to be her 4th.
Now you have to be really careful. Got to check her back out. But UB, without a field goal, the last 135. But Dillard back at the strut.
She will just continue her dominance here in the third quarter. 19 straight points for her. She is the only Buffalo player to put anything in the rim. They get 20 straight. So 3-point advantage again here for the Bulls. Trying to move to 9-4 on the season. Eastern trying to move up to 8-5. Both teams looking for that first conference victory. Minot splits between 2 defenders. How did she get to the rack? Unbelievable! Split between 2 defenders, lost her balance, got by the 3rd, then got the bucket, and now the foul with an opportunity to tie the game at 52.
saves some of her best moments against UB. Here are the points. Look back at it right now. Ryan, you mentioned it. Slides through a couple players, right off the tin and down.
What a play by Danielle Minot, the redshirt senior out of Miami, and she'll tie the game at 52.
Number 17. Now if you're Eastern, no one else besides Dillard has even attempted a shot in the second half. You start just walling her up, just changing your defense, force somebody else to beat you.
I think it's got to be the case as Onwuku has it, now drops it back off to Dillard.
And we'll bring a second man over.
Beautiful job by Hudson getting her hand in the passing lane. Will go out of bounds, so it will stay with Buffalo, but with just 5 on the shot clock.
Yeah, you mentioned now Dillard to trigger, which you wouldn't be surprised if you go over the top right to get her back to her.
That's exactly what happens. She'll put up a shot, leaves it short. Minot with the rebound.
First Minot for Danielle in the second half.
Up to Cardwell. That one knocked away as Dillard was underneath. Stay with Eastern Michigan. It looked like Dillard maybe stepped on the end line. Minute 38 to play here, third quarter. Eastern looking for their first lead since 8:20 mark of the first quarter. Lewis drives in, floater, gets it to go. Eastern on top by 2. 5-0 run right now for the Eagles. Dillard drops it off now left side. We'll drop it now to Dixon. Dillard, open for 3, watch out. Halfway now and rims out. Pineda had it in her hands and stripped away, and Eastern somehow comes away with it. Cardwell trying to push the axe and now back over. Lewis for 3, left wing, leaves it short, but Autumn Hudson goes up for the rebound. Now tries to put it up and in, no call, but then she falls and Dillard takes a spill. Officials letting a lot of play go there, and that's going to be now Hudson's third.
Nothing Autumn could do on the deck. Just got the board, trying to tap it away. Third foul as she has, but they'll march back the other ways for free throws. You guessed it, it's Dillard, who's 7 for 7.
Just keep this in mind. Eastern Michigan has scored 25 points here in the third quarter. Dillard herself has scored 20, depending on what happens on these free throws. But the Eagles have found a way to climb out of a 7-point hole, grab a 2-point advantage as Dillard now misses her first.
Well, I think the big thing you can account for it is Dillard is accounting for all the shots. Eastern using the entire team, especially the best performance as an Eagle by Autumn Hudson. 6 points more than any other time in her career. And maybe now the leg's starting to show it for Dillard.
You talked about it in the first quarter, maybe affecting Eastern Michigan at the line. Dillard normally an 81% free throw shooter, and she misses both of those. Her first misses of the night, now 7 of 9.
Now Johnson commits the foul, and a chance for 2. 9-2 run by EMU over the last 3 minutes and change.
Morrison at the line, she'll make her first. Greg, you mentioned great performance by Autumn Hudson. Her previous career high was 7, season high was 6. Now with 12 in this game. As Morrison misses her second free throw, so the Eagles will hold on to a 1-point advantage, 54-53 under a minute to play.
And it is quite the physical battle down low between these two teams. Not giving up an inch.
There's Cardwell trying to slice her way to the rack, get a blocking foul underneath. So Cardwell will now head to the line. Eastern is a team shooting 8 of 14 in this game for 57%. Cardwell herself, though, has made 5 of 6.
Most of her fouls or free throws came in that opening quarter. Seen her shots go quiet, and she's been able to get her teammates involved.
A foul, by the way, charged to Morrison. That is her 4th. So only 2 players in foul trouble. That is Brittany Morrison now with 4, and Jenna Anacarico, who picked up her 4th earlier in the third quarter. Cardwell will split the pair and make it a 2-point game. And Cardwell now in double figures. She has 10, third player for Eastern Michigan to reach the double figure mark. 10th time this year for her. Three offline. Minot grabs the board. 20 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Shot clock's dead. You can slow it back down if you're Eastern, and that's what Minot does. Back it down.
Coach Castro directing traffic from the sideline.
Well, 4 out, well, at this point.
Minot will put up a three. Left side, she hits it! Danielle Minot with 2 huge buckets here in the third quarter. One to give Eastern Michigan their first lead since the first quarter at 54-52, and then that 3 at the buzzer, heading to the fourth to give Eastern.
Side and all around, but it was not enough as Eastern Michigan fell just short a year ago at UB. Tonight, well, she's 20 plus already. It's been a scoring battle between her and Dillard.
In that third quarter, Danielle Minot putting up 11 points to give her, as you said, 20 in this game. Sierra Dillard scoring 20 of the 21 the Bulls scored. And right now, Eastern Michigan on top by 5 after the big 3 by Minot, but Buffalo now inches even closer.
Down low, underhand pass, and that ends a 13-3 run. But more importantly, the Bulls had only been 1 for the last 7 prior to that.
It was also Summer Hemphill's first bucket of the game.
Like we said, a walking double-double, and Eastern Michigan is quieter.
Yeah, they have shut her down all game long. Natalia Pineda drives in, thought about laying it up, but then tried a no-look pass behind her, and it's going to be a turnover. Just the 3rd turnover here of the second half. Watch out, Owuku wide open for 3 in the corner, doesn't go. Goes out of bounds, last touch here by Eastern Michigan. Lewis was down there, she was matched up with Hemphill.
Plus a new reset on the shot clock gives UB a chance to stretch it back out. They have to watch the numbers inside. Eastern had out-rebounded in the second half, walks that tightrope.
Jeez, how did she maintain her balance? Now Pineda goes down and she'll drag her foot for a turnover. Back-to-back turnovers here for Eastern Michigan after a beautiful job by Minot to not cough it up on the sideline.
I don't know if we can see her balance beam later in the month, or how about that?
Watch this again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Somehow still dribbling as she's falling away. That was like David Pierce Anderson when he dribbled a basketball in elementary school.
Except she kept possession.
That is correct. Well, just like that, back-to-back buckets here for the Bulls. Pulls them within 1, 58-57.
We didn't have an answer. Just too easy of a pass picked off.
Now 3 turnovers on 3 possessions here for Eastern Michigan. Now we'll get a charge the other way.
It was kind of like in slow motion. Cardwell goes down, they just kind of look at it, and on the far side, Brad Dustamars is like, yeah, that has to be a charge because she dipped her shoulder.
For those of you in the truck, maybe cue that up with some Matrix music. You'll get a perfect float down as the body goes right into her. Alicia Legit-Jack couldn't believe it.
Of course, has done a phenomenal job. Came in from Indiana, started as a head coach at Hofstra. Really has rebuilt this UB program to heights that it had never before seen.
And a 3 for Eastern, this time for the right wing. Danielle Minot too strong. Eastern now 5 of 13 from downtown, but they're holding on to a 1-point advantage. Skip pass to the left side. Owuku drives in, drops it back off. Hemphill goes up, no good. And the rebound putback will result in a reach-in on Eastern Michigan as Adeyeye went back up. Pineda will pick up her 3rd. Eastern Michigan with a lot of players with 3 personal fouls. That includes Cardwell, Hudson, Minot, and Pineda. And Carrico with 4. On the flip side, Buffalo has Owuku with 3, Adeyeye with 3, Morrison with 4. Adeyeye with her first free throw attempt, no good. First one of the game for her. Buffalo as a team, 11 of 17 in this contest. Adeyeye, 67% free throw shooter. Trying to tie the game at 58. We've had 6 ties in this game. But the rebound will come back out. Hall now open for three, left wing, and she buries it. How about that? Missed 2 free throws, and somehow Hall pops a three and makes it a 60-58 game.
It just rattled around. It looked initially like Hemphill was going to go back up with it. Instead, it trickles back around. And that three-point shot now, team high, 3.
Pineda, top of the key, double team comes, Zilli turn it over. Anna Carrico trying to drive in around Owoku. Now over to Kira Johnson, and that one's blocked. Ran into Adieye. Now Hall trying to push the tempo. 2-on-1 opportunity. It's blocked from behind by Danielle Minot. But Hall open left corner for three. She buries it again. Back-to-back threes for Buffalo. They lead 63-58.
Got to get a timeout as they cross court. Not a good possession for Eastern Michigan. Twice they were unable to cover wide open people. And the lead for the Bulls back up, 63-58. As to value the possessions, it's been a quick start to this fourth quarter. You'll be using inside, but it's been missed opportunities. Eastern just a step slow here or there.
Minot steps into a three after Hannah Hall took a spill. She wanted a foul call. Looked at the official throwing her hands in disgust, but nonetheless, Danielle Minot with the first bucket for Eastern in 3 minutes here in the fourth.
And you get a foul at the top on Cardwell, just away from the ball, just displaced. And now that's her fourth.
Turnovers evening out between the two teams again. They both had 12 at the break. Buffalo now with 18, Eastern with 17.
How about the Star Watch, Ryan? When the lights are the brightest, Danielle Minot wants that rock.
Now with 23 points. Woku trying to drive in, kicks it back out. Hemphill had it, drops it back off. Grabs the rebound though underneath and puts it in. Hemphill now with just her 4th point of the game. It's a 4-point advantage for Buffalo. Watch out, Anna Carrico for three. That one's partially blocked. And it's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Eastern Michigan.
Well, that one I would like to see again. If it's blocked and goes out of bounds, shouldn't it be MU ball?
I agree, but Autumn Hudson was underneath the bucket, so maybe it touched her on the way down.
I don't think I can think of, but
she was underneath the bucket. Eastern's got to go back to work defensively. Hudson will grab a rebound, give her 5 now. She's already got a career high in points at 12. Minot for 3, same spot she made the last one. She buries it again. Danielle Minot makes it a 1-point game, 65-64 on her 5th 3 of the contest. Danielle Minot with back-to-back threes here in the 4th quarter. Now we'll have a timeout. That will be Buffalo takes it. Coach Jack wants to talk it over with her team after seeing Minot now post back-to-back threes.
Well, not a bad call right there. Just the first for UB in this
first half. Only 2 players in double figures for the Bulls.
Well, and we talked about Eastern, 59 points on the year they average. They're at 64 with 5 minutes still to go. This offense has the ability to produce when everybody plays together as a team.
Defensive showing right here. They block it at the buzzer. And they're going to be bailed out with a whistle as Owoku went up for the shot. 2 players, and Hudson and Pineda went for the block. They're going to get Hudson for the foul. That now gives her 4 and puts 3 players in foul trouble for Eastern Michigan, and Anna Carrico, Cardwell, and Hudson.
One of those that was just a shade before that buzzer went off. Didn't need to go to the monitor, but free throws back to the line.
Morrison at the free throw line. She'll make her first. And Morrison now 2 of 3. Here's the block.
Think if anything, Hudson smacks Minot more on the block.
Pretty close call, especially at full speed. Morrison makes the most of it. 67-64. Makes both. As Eastern have 1 more run in them here. Under 5 to play. Cardwell feeds it over left side. Here's Minot for 3 again. Feeling it! Unbelievable! Danielle Minot, 3 straight 3-pointers. Ties the game at 67.
A little ricochet effect, and that one's through. 6 trays now.
That is the 7th tie we have had. Now Dillard answering on the other side. 3-point shot contest going on here at the Convo as Dillard makes it 70-67.
59 points combined between those two.
You want some action, you're getting it here on a Wednesday night. Step back three by Minot. She is fouled in the process. That will be on Owoku. That is her fourth. And Minot now will head to the free throw line, and this could be a blessing or a curse, Greg. Eastern struggling from the line tonight and all season. 9 of 16 in this game.
Yeah, but you look at it, Danielle, one of your best, and you want the ball in her hands. 71% free throw shooter. Granted, she's 1 for 3 tonight, but say your percentages, especially now that she's feeling it, a little higher.
She has already matched her season high of 29. She'll eclipse it now with 30. What is it about Buffalo that brings out the best in Danielle Minot?
Thing to watch, though, Anna Carrico, Cardwell, and Hudson, all with 4. Eastern has to be careful, especially on a miss on this next one.
Makes it 70-69.
Eagles with only 1 timeout, UB with 3.
Minot has scored 11, now make it 12 straight points.
And now you get the ticky-tack foul on Pineda on the inbounds. Remember, this was an Eastern squad that over the first 3 minutes of this fourth quarter was outscored 10-0. They've come back a 12-5 run.
A 10-0 run made it a 5-point game, 63-58. That's when Danielle Minot took over with 12 straight points. 5 the other way has been from Dillard, Morrison, and Hemphill. There's Dillard right here. Now have a 3-second violation. Well, I'll tell you what, this is heating up here with the final 4 minutes to go. And Ada will step out to inbound, and she'll get it over to Minot. 19 turnovers now in this game for Buffalo. They came in averaging 16 a contest. They had 12 at the break. Minot, hop step in the lane, doesn't go. Loose ball underneath, rebound into the hands of Brittany Morrison. Both teams looking for their first conference victory of the year. Buffalo came in falling to Ohio at home, 74-71. Eastern falling to Kent State on the road, 71-64. There's Dillard, hand in her face, puts a floater in the lane, draws some contact, and depending on who that is on, someone's going to take a seat.
Go on, Pineda.
Pineda will foul out. That leaves Hudson, Cardwell, and Anna Carrico with 4 for Eastern Michigan, and Pineda will take the long walk to the bench. Had 3 points tonight, 1 of 4 shooting. That one was a 3-pointer, also had 2 rebounds and 2 assists. Sierra Dillard back to the free throw line. Dillard with 30 points herself to make her first.
The Eagles still in foul trouble. 2 Bulls with 4.
Dillard will make both to make it a 2-point advantage, 72-70. Ryan Woolley, Greg Steiner, David Pierce-Anderson here with you at the Convocation Center in Ypsilanti. Very exciting game between Eastern Michigan and Buffalo. Minot was open in the corner. Lewis put up a shot, leaves it short.
Yeah, just didn't find a way to find Courtney, or from Courtney to Danielle.
Dillard directing traffic. Morrison comes out. Lost it to the blockee. Put up a 3-point anyway. Good look somehow. Anna Carrico had it in her hand, but this couldn't control it. She's got to be careful.
Yeah, that's part of the reason you could tell why she didn't dive for the basketball.
Big possession here both ways. Hall, left wing. Looking for Dillard. Nearly stolen, open from the right wing, and a travel. Big turnover there for Buffalo, 20th of the game.
Well, as soon as the pass, she saw an opening. knew she could go. The mind went before the feet.
See what Eastern Michigan can do here. You see Buffalo with 16 points off turnovers, Eastern Michigan with 14. They would love nothing more than to even up the points off turnovers to tie this game. Minot right to the rack, underhook, doesn't go, but grabs her own rebound, passes out. Watch out, Minot open for three, partially blocked in the corner, no call. Now Morrison in the back, Anna Carrico got maybe poked in the eye. Awoku drives in, Hudson reaches in, and now she is gonna foul out.
Created a 2-on-1 mismatch in Eastern Michigan's favor. They slowed up, and that's when Hemphill, but they will also should check on the collision at midcourt on Anna Carrico, who is still adjusting her eyes.
Well, I saw the feed to Autumn Hudson. They have not officially given it to her yet because Cardwell was also down there. And now it will go on Hudson, so she will take a seat. So two players have already fouled out for Eastern Michigan, and right here is the foul. Cardwell not even close. It was Lewis that was down there.
Yeah, so you'll get Hudson to go, but the real discussion, I think, is more the collision at midcourt a few seconds before that.
Yeah, that would have bailed Eastern Michigan out. Hudson wouldn't have fouled out because Anna Carrico did get poked in the eye. It was Morrison that was trapped here in the backcourt.
And the Bulls will be shooting free throws the rest of this. Eastern in the bonus because of their 5 fouls. Second player to depart via the foul out. Meanwhile, UB has only committed 2, Ryan. So as you're thinking, 1:53 to go, that could mean UB, if Eastern is able to find a way to tie it back up or take the lead, Buffalo's going to need to start some grabbing too.
And also, if you start to think about overtime, what can happen here in the last minute and 53 seconds as far as foul trouble is concerned?
My only question, hypothetically, had you caught the collision at midcourt, this play doesn't happen because the play's already been stopped, correct?
Yes.
So that's why I know you can look at a collision, but you have to also think, oh, that play doesn't happen because of that.
Right. And furthermore, if you go back to Danielle Minot's 3 down in the corner, which again, it looked like it was blocked, was there any contact down there on the 3? Because that would have not led them to the half-court issue, which then would have led to Autumn Hudson's issue.
Action at its finest.
At its finest. David Pierce-Anderson, I do want to bring you in here for a moment. 1:53 to go in this game. Eastern down by 2, 72-70, and things might be working against them as far as jerseys are concerned, from my understanding.
Well, yeah, I mean, Buffalo, they got some nice jerseys going on, the black jerseys, and this is the first year that they've worn them, and they've got a good record so far. They're 2-0 wearing the black jerseys with wins at Dartmouth, and St. Bonaventure. 2-0 on the year with the black jersey, so Buffalo happy to be back in black.
You did get a look at the play, David, as we were talking. I mean, it is pretty clear that Anna Carrico gets an arm. I don't think it's malicious by any ways, but it's certainly off-the-ball contact, and they'll bring both coaches over.
And she did a great job at selling it, too. That alone.
Yeah, even if it wasn't actual contact, she did sell it.
Well,
But
it is award season, so...
Coach Jack getting the explanation, and maybe they're explaining exactly what we talked about, Greg, because there's a trail of events. You know, there's a cause and effect, and if that doesn't happen, or if it's stopped there, then the foul of Autumn Hudson doesn't happen, and she's still in the game. There you see the players remaining in foul trouble for Eastern Michigan. Anna Carrico and Corianne Cardwell. The other two have fouled out, in Pineda and Hudson. So whatever they discuss, they will not backtrack to the issue with Anna Carrico at half court.
Interesting.
Teresa Owuka head to the line to make her first, make it a 3-point advantage.
You have to assume for Eastern Michigan, Danielle Minot's getting the basketball as quickly as she can up the floor. I know you got 1:53, but she wants this ball.
She grabs the rebound. Now gives her 8. The thing for Eastern Michigan is they could just not force the shot. They have to wait. They have plenty of time. There's Minot, top of the key. Dillard working against her. Triple team comes and she shoots over it. She is on fire tonight. 73-72. This one is coming down to the wire. Minute 23 to go. Minot already eclipsing her season high, 10 away from her career high. No travel call.
More the hook.
Hall with 8 to shoot.
Dillard did extend that arm.
Hall backs it out, drops it off to Dillard. Cardwell all over her. Loose. And Minot grabs the rebound. Now give her 10. A double-double for Danielle Minot. That was her second of the season. Minot trying to drive her way in, pulls up inside the three-point arc, draws some contact, and she'll head to the free throw line with 49.3 to go.
It's a star play. I mean, you know that you're gonna give the ball to your best play, and the Minot gets it, and you still can't stop her. And more importantly, 2 foul throws coming. Okonkwo out of the game with her 5th.
So Minot will head to the free throw line. She is 4 of 6 in this game. She just made 3 big ones to tie it at 70. And she'll miss the front end of this one. Eastern as a team shooting 60% from the charity stripe in this contest, 12 of 20 overall. Big free throw here. She'll hit. Another tie, 9th of the game.
Apply a little pressure, come down. UB has timeouts, not going to use them though.
3 timeouts for them, 1 for Eastern Michigan. Here's Dillard, knocked away by Eastern Michigan. 5-second differential, Cardwell takes it all the way to the rack, she'll scoop and score. Eastern up by 2, 75-73. Inbound pass, then a palming. What a turn of events.
Just it steps over the end line.
And that will prompt the timeout from Coach Jack. 2-point advantage with 31.3 to go. Eastern was
Protect the bucket the best you can.
just cannot afford a turnover or a 5-second violation, so they get it into Minot. And now we'll have Hall reach in on her.
Buffalo, knowing that, goes immediately to the foul.
Hall will get now 4th for her personals. 5 team fouls. And Minot back to the line where she just split the pair. Again, Greg, this just goes back to stuff we talked about early in this game, the free throw struggles for Eastern Michigan, where it's cost them at the end of contest. Can they put Buffalo away with free throws? Make her first to make it a 3-point advantage, 76-73, and a 6-0 run here in the closing minute. She'll miss her second, rattles around, loose. Anna Carrico fighting for it, loose. And it's going to go out of bounds, last touch by Anna Carrico, but heads up play by her, even playing with 4 personals, going all out to try to secure the basketball. That will prompt another timeout by Buffalo.
Well, she does a good job. Corral it in the corner. Buffalo knows it's not a good inbound spot, so that allows them to burn one of those timeouts, and logically, you with this 3-point edge.
If they do foul, you cannot let the shot get up. You just got to wrap them up. Down to 22 seconds here. Hannah pops a 3 from the right side. That will tie it. That's what we're talking about now. In my opinion, it's too early to foul at that point. However, if it would have got down inside 12 or 10 seconds, that's when you reach in from the line tonight. 67 is Buffalo. Anna Carrico triggering from the sideline, gets it into Kira Johnson. Corian Cardwell with it over to Minot, top of the key, near the blocky with 14 to go in this game, tied at 76. Eastern Michigan and Buffalo. Minot letting it run down. Johnson with it. Spin in the lane. They're going to say traveled. Oh, what a huge break for Buffalo. So now Eastern Michigan's got to go back to work on the defensive side. 3.5 to go, 4th quarter. Dillard takes it at half court. Heaves one. Wide right, and we're going to overtime. Eastern Michigan and Buffalo need another 5 minutes of this.
Through finding different ways, but everything going from outside in that final frame both ways to get us to this final 5.
Tip-off will be won here by Buffalo. And Hall will take it. Hall with a big 3 to tie the game at 76. Eastern had a chance to win it, but traveled with 3.5 to go, and then Dillard with a half-court shot was wide right of the rim.
Ends an almost better than 4-minute drought. UB able to had only one make, and that was that 3 to tie it at 76 that got us where we're here.
There's Minot, pulls up. One off the mark, rebound into the hands of Buffalo, and then goes out of bounds. So we'll stay with Eastern Michigan. I mentioned Sierra Dillard, Greg. She scored 20 of the 21 in the third quarter by herself. Danielle Minot, meanwhile, had 16 of the 18 in the fourth for Eastern Michigan. Season high for Minot. She's at 36. The previous season high was 29 in the overtime loss to Illinois. This is the second overtime game for Eastern Michigan. They're 22 and 20 all time in overtime. Lewis couldn't control it. Dillard moves it over to the right side. Here's Hall again for 3. Halfway down, Kiera Johnson with a big rebound. Eastern already with 2 players on the bench, and Autumn Hudson and Natalia Pineda was fouled out. Ruka is fouled out for Buffalo, and now we'll have a foul here on Danielle Minot as Hamilton reached in. Minot back to the free throw line, where she is 6 of 10 in this game. Eastern as a team, 14 of 23 overall for 61%.
Think of the one foul shot she wasn't able to convert on down the stretch. You think how it changes things. It would have given Eastern that 1-point edge at 4, or the 4-point edge after the make, before they came down and hit the 3.
She has now made both to tie the game at 78. It's the 9th tie of this contest. Hamilton looking for somewhere to go. Holds it here on the left wing. Feeds it over to Morrison. She drives right around Kiera Johnson, and Danielle Minot goes up for the rebound. Minot now with 11 boards.
Freshman Johnson, good look one way. She almost bought on the fake, stayed put, and did a good job to help Minot grab the backside edge.
What the job Anna Carrico has done too, Greg, playing with 4 personal fouls midway through the third. Here she is in overtime. Lewis driving baseline. Hemphill cuts her off. Back to Anna Carrico with 5 to shoot. Minot from the left wing, now to the top of the key. Pops for 3 and buries it again. Danielle Minot with 39 points. That is 81 to 78. That might be 40 points as the stat tracker didn't upgrade. Now on the other side, Sierra Dillard pops a 3, ties it at 81.
Anything you can do, I can do the equal of, says Dillard. Give her now for 37.
Mid-American Conference is not taking notice tonight. They certainly are right now. Back and forth we go. Dillard with the basketball, 2:21 to play here in overtime. Cut right to the rack. Draws the bucket and the foul. She went right at Kiera Johnson. She'll have an opportunity for a 3-point play. 5 straight points for Dillard. 2:18 to play here in overtime. Dillard bends at the knees. Rattles around, doesn't go. Morrison goes up for the rebound. Jump ball call will be Eastern's ball.
Tie up 2 Eagles down low, able to get with Hemphill and just get it tie up in enough.
Michigan approaching season high territory as far as points are concerned. They had 87 in their win against Purdue Fort Wayne. have 81 right now. Cardwell, 10 to shoot. And Carrico trying to drive in on Hall. Drops it off now to Kiera Johnson underneath. Working against Morrison. Grabs her own rebound. Both players get tangled up. Will result in another jump ball, this time favoring Buffalo. A minute 50 to go. Fans on their feet here at the Convocation Center, taking this one in on a Wednesday night.
Really good battle between two teams that have put up an offensive showing. Those in attendance won't soon forget, between Dillard and Minot.
And how this game started, too. You just would not have expected this.
No, you looked at it, the first quarter was a 16-10, or excuse me, it was a 15-11 game. Neither side was doing much, 25% shooting each way.
It was 32-29 after 2. Eastern took a lead 58-53 after 4, and then knotted up at 76, heading to overtime. Free throw halfway down and bounces out for Dillard. Still a 2-point game, 83-81. The fist bump from Fred Castro. He loves it. Loves the pressure. To make her second 3-point game, 84-81.
Well, again, just goes to show there's not a whole lot of differential between the top and bottom of this Mid-American Conference. Tight games throughout.
Minot drives into the lane. Nice floater. Coach Murphy in the house, the men's head basketball coach. He's down on Radio Row with Adam Martin taking this one in. He's enjoying himself. Dillard got around her defender. Easy bucket for her.
Yeah, just parted the seas, made the turn, saw no one on the weak side to cover. An easy drive to the bucket.
Eastern with one timeout, Buffalo with one as well. Minot over to Anna Carrico. 48 seconds and counting. Minot pulls in near the free throw line. That one doesn't go. Morrison with the rebound. Buffalo content running some clock right now.
Problem is you run out there with a lot of people that can't commit a foul.
And now we'll have Minot and Morrison running into each other. They'll get Minot for the foul. So that is her fourth. And Morrison will head to the free throw line. Brittany Morrison, North Ridgeville, Ohio native. 76% free throw shooter, misses it. Eastern still down by 3, and here's where the foul occurred. Dillard comes off, screen set by Morrison, and Minot ran right into her. Big free throw right here. That one's good. 4-point advantage, and that will prompt the timeout from Coach Castro to diagram a quick play for 7-83 Buffalo. Anna Carrico takes it, drops it off now to Cardwell. Now it goes right into the lane. She scored but traveled.
19th turnover on Eastern Michigan. Now you're going to have to find somebody to foul.
Huge missed opportunity offensively for the Eagles. They're getting into Dillard, and now Minot will reach in to foul her. And Minot will pick up her 5th, and she will sit down. That's just an unfortunate situation because of the way Minot has been playing, but you had to conserve time.
Yeah, you had to conserve time. No one else was on the back close by, and she'll finish 1 point shy of her Tyner and her record and school record.
So coming in for her will be McKenna Drabick. What a game for Danielle Minot. 14 of 27 from the floor, 7 of 12 from downtown, 8 of 12 from the line. Again, 43 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. Free throw here by Dillard. Might be enough to salt this one away, 88-83.
10-2 run for UB in the last 2.5 minutes.
Again, not to be outdone, Dillard setting a new career high herself. Second free throw, no good. 5-point advantage. Here's Anna Carrico. She's trying to take it right to the rack, loses control of it, over to Drabeck. Now tries to pass it to Lewis, it's stolen. Hannah Hall with it, and that will be all she wrote in this one. Buffalo will pick up their first conference victory as they will up in Eastern Michigan. Final score yet to be decided, though, with 9.4 to play.
Heck of a fight. Just ran out of gas in that final minutes. And the turnover, the resulting foul, and unable to capitalize on that possession.
You just think about the two miscues Eastern Michigan had. Final shot at the end of regulation. Danielle Minot traveled with 3.5 to go. And then right there, Corian Cardwell gets in the lane, gets the bucket, but traveled before.
Both sides will look back at this one and see opportunities that they could have changed the outcome a lot faster.
Second free throw was no good as Morrison went in to tip it away. And we'll have a foul here on Morrison, so that will be her fifth, and she will take a seat. Kira Johnson will walk the length of the floor to shoot a couple of free throws. Morrison will sit down, just shy of a double-double. Correction on that, she has 6 points, 9 rebounds. It was Owuka who was just shy of a double-double with 10 and 9. Kira Johnson makes her first. Well, if she makes this, Greg, it's still a two-possession game with under 10 seconds to play. I know it's unlikely, but if you can foul and...
Yeah, you're going to need Lewis or Johnson to commit the quick foul, most likely. And then, yeah, hope for miscues.
She will miss the second, so it's all for naught anyway, but Cardwell on the deck. Passes over to Lewis, 4 seconds. She puts up a shot, leaves it short. And we'll have a wrap up with 1.4 to go.
Free throws for Hall. What a night she's going to finish with. 18 points as she marches the other way, but none bigger than the three-point shot that even got us to overtime to begin with. She found herself down 3 points with just about 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, you can't say enough about what she did either. A career high for her as well in this game. She has 18 points. Her previous career high was 16. That was at Canisius back on December 4th. It was also her season high. So she'll walk away with that new career mark, as well as Dillard. But that big three is really what she's going to be remembered for in this game, tying it at 76. So 6-point advantage, 90 to 84 in favor of Buffalo. Makes both. Just like that, the Bulls come into Ypsilanti, and they up in Eastern Michigan. The Eagles' first loss here at the Convocation Center this season, and they will fall to 7-6 on the year, 0-2 in conference play. Buffalo improves to 9-4 on the year, 1-1 in Mid-American Conference action. And it's all thanks to